Hi folks, very quick update on the goings on with this old 1940 gun tractor that I'm in the process of pulling apart. I can't do anything significant with her until the shed is built, and you can see that all of that fancy metalwork in the background is the shed that I've been hoping to build for the last 2 years, but that's another story and I won't bore you with the details. But here she is. Hopefully you'll notice there has been a little bit of progress, albeit fairly limited, on the gunner's compartment or the rear box. What have I done? Okay, so the back end, if you look here, there used to be like this sort of, I'll just follow my skanky finger up here. There was some sort of a tripod mechanism, and then there was a big pipe in the middle. As you can see, I've cut all of that off now, and there's still a few other things that I've got to do to bring it back to its original configuration. But you can see this little bar. Where's my finger? There's my finger again, skanky finger. That bar there shouldn't be there, and these great big steel things here shouldn't be there as well, and I've got to tidy up those. If you look along here on either side, it kind of looks like a star pickety type thing, but it's a piece of steel that shouldn't be there. And then there's another one on the other side as well, which has been welded in, so they'll have to go. Now, these rotten pieces of timber, the one on top is sort of semicircular, so I would imagine that there was some sort of a barrel or some such up the front, so I've taken that off. And then these three timbers here actually sat across this panel. There's still one in situ, and I'm not altogether sure whether they're the original pieces of timber, but they're pretty sorry looking things, and I would imagine that they've been, see, look, it just peels off. They've been there for some time, so I'm going to have to replace those. So that is pretty much everything that I've done with the gunner's compartment. I'm just trying to bring it back to the original spec, and to get rid of all the post-war additions that have been made over the years, over the last 80 odd years. So that's what's happening there. Now, not much is happening up front. I've got two big problems to deal with. I've got, excuse the glare, it's very sunny today. As you can see there, if I take this cloth off, that is the top of the gearbox, and I will try and see if I can zoom in, and you can see, there we go, we're out of the sun. You can see the condition of the gears, and it is a pretty sorry state of affairs, really. I was quite surprised when I opened it up. I thought the gearbox would be fine, but at some stage, obviously, water and condensation has got in there, and no one's topped it up with gear fluid or any of the protective substances you would use, and so she's absolutely caked in rust, and there's no movement there at all. Absolutely nothing. So that is one of my big challenges, to try and free that up and try and salvage the gears if at all possible. So that's the gearbox, or what's left of it. Now, okay, so just the shades, it's just impossible to get any good vision because of the sun and the glare. But this is an original pre-war, 1939, 1940 flathead V8, which were basically the engines that Ford used throughout the 1930s, 40s and 50s. So now I rather optimistically hoped that I would be able to get this old girl turning, and that optimism proved a bit sort of unfounded, really. So she is seized, and what I have done in the meantime is I've managed to remove all the plugs. I'll see if I can just try and, so this one here is busted, but if I just loosen that one up without dropping it on the ground, which is what I usually do, I can give you an idea of what they look like, you see. So this one's not too bad actually, but some of the spark plugs have got rust on them, and that is not a good sign. So I put a mixture, a 50-50 mixture of ATF, that's transmission fluid to you and me, and diesel, and I have poured it into all of these little wee holes here in the hopes that I'll be able to get the engine to at least turn. So this side, this row of plugs, not too bad. The mixture's gone down and disappeared, and I'm assuming that it's gone down into the sump here, just underneath. So that's quite encouraging, but the The ones on the other side, it's a different story altogether. So if I just get in here and see if I can take this plug off, you will see the problem that I'm faced with, which is pretty discouraging. You see, look in there, you can see that mixture that I poured in, and it ain't going anywhere. So I don't know whether that's because the pistons are right at the top, or whether it's because there's so much rust in these holes here that the fluid simply can't go down into the guts of the engine. So I'll see if I can try and do that with one hand, which is going to be very difficult, I think. No, bugger that, I'll do it later. So yeah, look, I'm not gonna give up just yet. I'm just gonna leave that there and hope and pray that that stuff soaks through, and that we can get this old girl turning, because I believe she's the original engine, and she's obviously had a few modifications over the years, but it doesn't look like this girl has been moved in a long time. So that's the flathead V8. No movement just yet. You know, as I said, I'm a patient guy, so I'm hoping that this stuff will eventually penetrate and work its way through into the sump, and then we can get some movement on that front. So that is about it at the moment. I'm just going to potter around today. It is, look at that, it's just, honestly, my cup runneth over today. The weather is just so beautiful. I hope it continues for a couple of weeks to come. It's springtime here, so this is usually a good time of the year. Clear blue skies, and it's not too hot. So yeah, marriage made in heaven for a pom like me. That's it, guys. If anything dramatic happens, or I've got something I think is worth posting, I'll let you know. But take care, keep following, and I hope everyone's enjoying the weekend. Bye now.